I've made a living from playing Battlefield for 9 years now, and that's the game this one is based on. I want you to have this information quickly, and there are lots of settings, so what I'll do is run quickly through mine so you can see them, and copy if you want, although do that at your peril, as we'll come to later. And I'll stop and explain ones I think are especially important, and if you have questions about settings I don't specifically cover, leave a comment and I'll try to get to them when I see them up to a certain point in the future. Let's dive in, and quick point, the game has just come out, so none of this is final for me. I tweak my settings for a while, so you can just copy mine, but they're probably not even how I want them, so make sure you do adjust things as you go. We start off on the game tab, and I have not put either of these on. I'm going to play around with this as we go. As for the reloading, I don't want my aiming to be interrupted by reloading. What I am trying out is automatically mantling whilst airborne. But what it's going to do is if I hold a movement button while in the air pointed towards something, it will auto mantle over. I just want to see if it helps my movement be fluid. Again, I'll turn it off if I don't like it. I don't want aircraft to autopilot when I don't move anything, and I don't want a parachute to automatically deploy. I like to pull my parachute when I want it to. I don't want the game deciding it for me. Just don't forget to pull your parachute, okay? I have not really altered anything down here, to be honest with you. A lot of this is just personal preference. You will get to grips with this as you go. One of these that people might be confused about is limit med durability and loadout. I think this is something to do with the game getting you more meds if your durability is low on the ones you already have. I'll decide this as I go through the game how I want it. The rest of this, fairly standard in terms of how it all works. Do some tweaking as you play. This screen, not overly important. Where we do get some importance is controller, and we're on controller sensitivity first. I've put my inner dead zones low because I want the sticks to feel really responsive. What you're trying to do here with the inner dead zone right and left is have it as low as possible whilst not having stick drift, so that it can be very responsive when you move the stick without your aim and stuff floating around the screen. So get it as low as you can without the game moving around, without you moving the sticks. And as for the maximum inputs, I've just lowered these a bit. I want it to be a little more accessible to hit the top range. I will tweak these over time, as I said, but this is my base starting point and the logic behind it. A key one for me at the minute is I've switched my stick response curve to dynamic. This means it's initially fast, as we can see on the right hand side, it's initially fast turning rate, then increases slower as the stick is pushed further. So you can be a bit twitchy at close range, and then it will not be quite as twitchy when you're trying to do longer range stuff or longer turns. I will, again, maybe alter this as I go, but right now this is the one that I'm landing on. I'm basically trying to replicate how my game feels when I play Battlefield. That is very difficult because different settings across different games. If you want, leave me a comment somewhere down the line, a week, a month, 6 months, whatever, and ask me if I kept using this, and we'll see if I changed it to something else. But definitely do what you feel is best for you. Play with all three, standard, linear, dynamic, and see which one feels best. Now, the sensitivity preset, this initially is set to low, I believe, and you can do medium or high if you want to keep it kind of simple. What I did is I switched it to custom. You don't have to, but if you want things to be very specifically altered for how you want to aim, fine-tune aiming, switch it to custom, and you get all these in a drop-down menu to utilize. This is not final, as I said, so you can copy if you want. I'm not going to explain too much of it, but this is what I've got. I'll just run through this. Basically, if it feels good, cool. If it doesn't, tweak things as you go. I've got a lot of things very low in terms of response, so it's very snappy, and then I've boosted up the sensitivities on certain things. I also try to have my horizontal and vertical sensitivity fairly similar. Sometimes vertical a little bit lower. I might do it a bit lower, we'll see. But I don't generally like the vertical sensitivity to be as low as the game has it when compared with the horizontal. So I'm trying to get back to 250 now. Not as if you don't come across people above and below you, so for me, it's important. I got it back to 249. I can't be bothered, so we'll go we'll go with that for now. Skipping by these. Again, if you've got specific questions about things, let me know in the comments, and I or someone else will answer you. Down here, I've got vibration on. Now, if you are used to using vibration, have it on. Like me, I have to have vibration. But if you're not used to it, or you don't have to have it, turn it off. You're better having it off, I promise. It's just that I've played so many years of having vibration when I'm playing FPS games that I need it. Otherwise, it just feels weird and I don't respond properly. So, top tip, don't do what I do unless you absolutely need to on that one. Oh, to come back up to here actually as well. Sensitivity transition mode. I just found this felt really weird when I switched it to the other two. This is about how the sensitivity alters when you're going from hip fire to ADS. The transition made it feel fairly smooth. These two didn't feel good. Again, I'm willing to change my mind down the line, and you can try all three, but this is the one that kept it feeling nice to me, so that's my starting point. Down here is just more sensitivity stuff. Again, you can go with this if you want to. This is the ground vehicle. This is the aircraft. Actually, haven't altered this yet. I'm not much of a vehicle user, but again, I will tweak these as I go. These are my starting points. Gun are the same. An aim assist switch. I think this is just the aim assist in the game, I believe. It's the only place in the settings where I found aim assist mentioned, so I think this is just off or on for aim assist. If you don't want aim assist, fine, have it off. But if you want to be on a level playing field with other controller players, have it on. Now we move across to controls specifically. We'll go to the top. Now I changed one or two things on here, maybe just a couple. I've switched from the default preset to the traditional preset. I've gone for this because I want my crouch to be on my right stick rather than my B button. If you like to crouch and go prone with the right stick, for sliding, for drop shotting, for crouching, whatever, then switch to the traditional preset. That's how you get it. Now, if you play with back paddles and you actually like to use one of them for crouching and going prone, maybe keep it on the default one and have B as your back right paddle. I don't think I changed too much down here. If you notice anything different, again, you can let me know in the comments. This is one, if you like to aim and fire with your bumpers or R1 and L1 buttons, depending on if you're on PlayStation or Xbox, then switch this. Some people really like that. The Broken Machine, who I know, who plays Battlefield, some of you might be very aware of him. I think he plays with LB and RB, or L1 and R1 as his aiming and firing. That's always been weird to me. I use the triggers, or R2, L2. But yeah, if you want to switch it, it's here. Have a look down here. I don't think I changed anything here. Oh, I put auto peek on because I'm used to using auto peek. This is where it will auto lean around the corners. If I find I don't like it on this game, I'll turn it off. And I believe auto hold breath here is on by default. I quite like that. I'm going to go with that. Just don't hold it down for too long, your aim. Otherwise, I think you'll run out of breath if this game is like other games. Up to controls and combat. This is where I've not changed anything here because I changed my presets for the controller. But if you want to specifically alter some of your inputs, just manually change them, you can do that on here. Okay, so you'll select it, you'll change it to whatever your input is supposed to be. We'll move to aim. I didn't change anything here. This is pretty much just an extension of this one in terms of your inputs. But if anything feels weird to you with your leaning, you're holding your breath, etc., change it in here. Vehicle. Again, same sort of thing, change your controls in here. It's a lot more simple actually than Battlefield, which is one, limiting, but two, makes it easier to go through them and get it done quickly. You need a PhD to do your settings in Battlefield 6. I will probably be doing a settings guide for that though, so if you want to see that, subscribe. If you want more Battlefield and indeed Delta Force videos, then subscribe. I didn't change much in here. I didn't change any of these, I believe. Oh, did I? Yes, I got it. So I think I changed this. I want the backpack to close if I'm being shot at. I don't want to stay in my backpack if I start to take damage, so that just seems like a sensible one for me to turn on. It's up to you. Minimap, all I did here was I boosted up the view, the infantry view, the ground view, and the aircraft view. I always like to have the minimap a little bit different from the default one, so I always boost these up a little bit. And of course, I want the text in English. You're watching an English video, I assume you want this as well. If not, boom, boom, there's lots of languages I don't speak. I speak a tiny bit of Japanese, but I think that'd screw me up. Graphics, right, boost up my brightness a little bit. I turned off VSync. I want this off because VSync on can introduce a bit of latency when you're playing, i.e. it takes longer for your inputs to be registered by the game. But if you do find your game has lots of screen tearing, turn this back on. And then to try to cover up for that, I've gone for performance mode and set it to frame rate because I want to avoid screen tearing and stuff, but I also want the game to run smoothly. So this is sort of my overall hopeful best of performance both worlds. If this isn't good, then I'll turn this back on, but hopefully that'll be it. And then I've boosted my default up to the max because I'm one of those people that likes to have a huge amount of peripheral vision. If it's too much, if it's fisheyeing, I'll bring it down. The same for you. I would just up this a bit from the default one because it's too narrow generally in FPS games, and see where your sweet spot is for it. If you put it up here and it's just mega wide, bring it down a bit. But it is good to be able to see more of your peripheral vision and can also help with reducing your visual recoil a little bit. So I do recommend playing around with this one a little bit. Audio. I set it to headphones. I didn't do much else. I put the music volume on 0 because I'm a content creator and have my own music. Also copyrighted music playback off because I don't need that problem. And I turned the chat off because I'm a content creator and I don't want to annoy people whilst I'm streaming. I stream almost every single day. It goes shameless plug, another reason to subscribe. But I don't want to annoy people in my squad while I'm streaming and talking to my chat, so I turn this off. If you want to talk to people within the game, make sure you have this on and you can set it to whatever you like, squad all. Just off for me. And then privacy and compliance, I don't think I did a single thing in here. And those are the settings. Like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. I am am looking to get a tips video out for this game as well in the near future to help you to play it better. And with that being said, I'll see you next time.